Have you ever heard a news story so shocking it sounds like it's straight out of a movie? Well, on January 15th, 2026, during an interview with Tucker Carlson, a prominent Russian political scientist named Sergei Karaganov said something that sent a chill across the globe. He claimed that if Russia ever faced defeat, it would unleash its nuclear arsenal and, in his words, destroy Europe. Now, that sounds absolutely terrifying, doesn't it? But what does a statement like this actually mean? Is it a real threat or something else entirely? Today, we're going to break it down, separate the facts from the fear, and explore what's really going on behind these apocalyptic headlines. First, let's get the facts straight. Did Karaganov actually say this? Yes, he did. The interview happened, the statement was made, and it was broadcast for the world to see. So, the threat itself is a documented fact. However, and this is a huge however, it's crucial to understand who Sergei Karaganov is. He's the honorary chairman of a think tank, Russia's Council for Foreign and Defense Policy. He's an influential voice, for sure, but he's not Vladimir Putin. He's not the Minister of Defense. This wasn't an official declaration from the Kremlin. Think of it like a very influential, but not official, political commentator in the United States making a bold statement. It gets attention, it reflects a certain line of thinking, but it doesn't automatically become national policy. So, if it's not an official order to push the button, why say it at all? This is where we get into the realm of strategic messaging and psychological warfare. For years, Russia has used nuclear rhetoric as a tool. It's a way to draw red lines and deter other countries, especially the West, from getting too involved in conflicts like the one in Ukraine. By constantly reminding the world of its nuclear capability, Russia aims to create fear and hesitation. The goal is to make Western leaders and their public think, is supporting Ukraine really worth the risk of a nuclear war? It's a high-stakes bluff, designed to weaken resolve and sow division among allies. Most international analysts see these kinds of statements not as a sign of imminent action, but as a deliberate part of this broader information war. It's about shaping perceptions and influencing decisions without ever having to launch a missile. Now, let's imagine this isn't just a news report. Let's think like storytellers. How could you turn this real-world event into a gripping narrative? One way is to frame it as a geopolitical thriller. Picture this. A journalist, maybe someone who was in the room during that Carlson interview, gets a tip that Karaganov's threat isn't just bluster. They uncover a hidden faction within the Russian military that's actually preparing to follow through. Suddenly, the world is on a knife's edge. NATO headquarters in Brussels becomes a whirlwind of emergency meetings. Do they escalate? Do they call the bluff? Meanwhile, in cities like Berlin, Paris, and Warsaw, the news creates mass panic. People are rushing to supermarkets, borders are closing, and the fragility of our modern peace is laid bare. The central theme becomes the terrifying game of nuclear brinkmanship, where one miscalculation could lead to unimaginable devastation. It's a story about the secret corridors of power and the terrifying consequences of the words of a few powerful men. But what if we zoom in from the global stage to a single living room? This brings us to a more human-centered drama. Imagine a family in a quiet European town, let's say in Germany. They're gathered around the dinner table, and the news comes on. They hear Karaganov's words. The father, who remembers stories of the Cold War, feels a familiar dread. The mother immediately worries about her children's future. Their teenage daughter, who has only known peace, scoffs at it as just more political noise. But you can see the fear creeping into her eyes. The conflict isn't in a war room, but within the family itself. It's the clash between fear and the desperate hope for diplomacy. It's about trying to maintain a sense of normalcy, packing lunches for school, planning for the weekend, while this existential threat hangs over them. This kind of story explores how huge geopolitical events trickle down and disrupt the simple, everyday lives of ordinary people. It reminds us that behind the headlines and political posturing, there are real human beings whose worlds can be turned upside down in an instant. There's a third way to tell this story, and it's a bit more unconventional: satire. Imagine a dark comedy, a sort of Dr. Strangelove for the 21st century. In this version, we see a fictionalized version of world leaders. We have the Russian figure, a caricature of Karaganov, who makes increasingly absurd threats on a talk show just to see his approval ratings spike. The American president responds by threatening to turn the moon into a giant disco ball to dazzle the enemy into submission. Other world leaders join in, each trying to one-up the others with more and more ridiculous posturing. The conflict isn't about the threat of war, but about the sheer absurdity of it all. The news media in this world breathlessly reports on every insane pronouncement as if it's a serious strategic move. The theme here is a sharp critique of modern political theater and propaganda. It uses humor to expose how disconnected from reality the language of power can sometimes become, and it forces us to question why we take such outrageous statements so seriously. It's a way to laugh at the madness, while also highlighting the very real dangers that lie beneath the surface. So, when we look back at Sergei Karaginov's statement, we see it's not just one thing. It's a real quote, a piece of strategic messaging, and a potential seed for countless stories. It's a reflection of the complex and often frightening world we live in. Understanding the context, who is speaking, why they're speaking, and what they hope to achieve, is key to navigating the news without being overwhelmed by fear. These threats are designed to scare us, to make us feel powerless. But by breaking them down, by looking at them from different angles, we can reclaim some of that power. We can understand the game that's being played. It's a chilling reminder of the nuclear shadow we still live under, but it's also a call to be critical thinkers, not just passive consumers of headlines. Because in the end, understanding the story behind the story is our best defense. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think? Is this kind of rhetoric just a bluff? Or should we be taking it more seriously? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories shaping our world. Stay safe and stay informed.